good. No. That's right, guys.
We all have fruits of the Spirit song, right? Rose, thank you. Give them to me.
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Rose, not only the best person in the room, also one of the wisest. Do you know the song? Are you free to sing it? Okay. Alright. No, does anyone else know the song? Okay, I'm going to teach you guys the song. This is alright. Here's the deal. Fruits of the Spirit. It's time that you're going to learn the song. So we're all going to learn the song. Everybody stand up. Y'all stand up. Alright. Now, here's how we do it with the kids in Awana. This will be fun. It'll be so fun. I'm gonna act like I'm eating a fruit, and you have to guess what fruit it is, like the actual fruit. And then I'm gonna say that's not what a fruit of the Spirit is, but the fruits of the Spirit. So here's how it goes: the fruit of the Spirit is not a whatever, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. The fruit of the Spirit's not a watermelon. The fruit of the Spirit's not a banana. If you want to be a banana, you might as well hear it. You can't be a fruit of the Spirit because the fruits are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I made a slide earlier with the word patience in it. I came in and typed it.
That says for parents.
Yeah, I know that's not right, but I have a slide that's right. That's the one. All right. Okay. The fruit of the Spirit's not a apple. The fruit of the Spirit's not a grape. If you want to be a you might as well hear it. You can't be the fruit of the Spirit because the fruits are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Sit down. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Okay, guys, those are my fruits of the Spirit. Seriously, every single Sparky knows them, kindergartners through second graders. So, y'all learn the fruits of the Spirit. There's 9. You have like 2.5 months to learn them because that's all we're going to be doing in the series. When I hear fruits of the Spirit, I immediately envision my children's minister doing what I just did. Was this like, use him in. So he would like pick up this watermelon and act like he couldn't hold it and he'd fall down. And when I think of fruits of the Spirit, I literally think of like a watermelon and a banana and an apple because those are the things we did. And as I was preparing for this lesson and thinking about the actual fruits, that's not language that we use often. I don't say like, the fruits of Dane. I say like, oh, Dane is so this or that or whatever. Like we very rarely say the fruits of someone. But when Jesus gives these in like a good tree bears good fruit, a bad tree bears bad fruit, right? So like, what do you bear? What kind of fruit do you bear? So like, if I'm a tree, my fruits are what? Right? So it's like, okay, if Robin Lunshop is a tree, her fruits might be energy and excitement and encouragement, right? Are you tracking with me? Like, Brian's fruits, if Brian's a tree, might be kindness and tenderness and loving heart and all the great things anyways. But like, you can have a slew of things, like what are your fruits? What are the things that you get, right? Like, one of Emily's fruits might be boldness that she's carrying on her tree. Like, these things that we all have, these fruits. So when we think of fruits of the Spirit, these 9 things that are defining what the Spirit is bringing to the table. Like, if Spirit is a tree right here, the fruit that is falling from Spirit are these 9 things. So a lot of times we think like, okay, well, I just want to do God's will, like, I want to come in the direction God's calling me, I want to make sure I go to the right school, like, am I supposed to be there, am I supposed to do this, am I supposed to do that? Like, walk in the Spirit. It's not about whether or not you're supposed to go that way or that way. Like, walk in love, walk in joy, walk in peace. Like, these 9 things, if we are in these 9 things, if we are in a lane of these 9 things, we are with the Spirit and the Spirit's fruit. Are you tracking with me? So, like, instead of giving ourselves goals of like, oh, if the shirt fell off that hanger, I'm supposed to wear it today, and then that boy really loved that shirt, and now we're married, and it was so, like, we don't worry about those things. Like, we don't have to live our life in a, like, oh, he gave me this sign, I have to answer this thing. We get to walk in the Spirit, in alignment with these 9 things. If like, okay, Harrison, you're like looking at schools next year, and you're like, I'm feeling so much love and joy and peace about going to UT. They happen to have the number 1 basketball team in the country right now, but I feel some peace about that. Like, if you have peace are walking in the Spirit with that decision. If you don't have any of these things making a decision, I would challenge you to look at that decision and know if it is Spirit-led or not. Like, so we ask a lot, like, I don't know if it's like God's leading me, I don't know what God's trying to tell me to do. Look at these 9 things. Like, this is the answer book. Like, if I was like, hey, Nathan, I have a book to that big question you've been thinking about, like, you don't know what you're supposed to do with X, Y, or Z, fill in the blank, like, I would hand you these 9 words. Like, this is the answer. These 9 things are walking in alignment with the Spirit. That's freaking exciting, right? Like, what the heck? We get to walk in line with the Spirit. We get to know, okay, like big decisions in life. I'm not trying to be super cheesy, but like, first aid meeting, you really let us say things like this. Like, I had all 9 of these things in mind when I said yes to him when we got down on one knee. It's like, this is joyful, this is peace-filled. Like, I feel an abundance of these 9 things, like this is Spirit-led. Right? Like walking in alignment with the Spirit. Okay, so with those 9 things, we're going to look at each one. Because how beautiful is it that we get to look at each one and like really get to understand these 9 things. So, I have 10 of these, but for sake of time, meaning. So, fruits of the Spirit is found in the book of Galatians. If anyone wants, so this is the fruits of the Spirit sheet of paper. It's got like the whole scripture with fruit of the Spirit on it. If you want one of these, I'm going to put it right here. If you want to memorize those 9 things and have a sheet of paper like right on it or whatever. And it describes the fruits of the Spirit. But here at the very bottom, maybe if you'll read verse 25 and 26 real loud for us.
If we live by the Spirit, let us also keep in step with the Spirit. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another.
Keep in step with the Spirit. So, like, what does keeping in step with the Spirit look like? I believe that it looks like keeping in step with these 9 things, because these are the Spirit's fruit. Like, if you want to be more like that tree and you're eating of its fruit, and the fruit from this tree are those 9 things. First on the list is love. Okay, so we have the scripture. It doesn't even know like the classic chapter about love in scripture that like everyone reads at their weddings. It's like love is patient. Loves all these things. You know, if I'm around with anyone. 1 Corinthians 13. That's what this chapter is. Sometimes I like to dock to this chapter because I'm like, it says all these things about love. But it has a lot of good things to say about love. And it even says faith, hope, and love at the bottom of, Johnny, will you read verse 13 at the very bottom?
So now, faith, hope, and love abide. These 3, but the greatest of these is love.
Faith, hope, and love. So the reason why faith and hope are not on this list is because love is covering faith and hope, right? So it's kind of like a Trinity answer, like you got Father, Son, Holy Spirit. If we're inviting one of those in, we're inviting all 3 in 1. Faith, hope, and love, faith and hope are covered in with this love. Like that's why 1 Corinthians 13 is important to look at as we cover love today, is because it's like a Trinity type situation, which we get some of those in Scripture. If you want to dive more into 1 Corinthians 13, this is printed off for you, and if you want this, it's here. So we've got Galatians 5, fruits of the Spirit, 1 Corinthians 13, lots of scripture about love. But today, the exciting thing about class is these 3 really special, incredible people that I'm so glad they're here. I want to tell you a little bit about why I asked both of them to come. Christine has been, and I'll have her tell more of her story. Christine has been at this church way longer than any of us have been alive. Yes, that's accurate. Yeah. And she has exemplified a level of love to the bride of Christ that is really important. Because when we think about love, it's not just romantic love. It's not just husband and wife love, girlfriend, boyfriend love. Like, there's so much more here. The reason why Dane is here, and y'all know Dane and you know his heart, Dane is a lover. Like, Dane loves and loves big. And Dane actually quickly, few people tell me that they love me before I get the word out. I say it first. Dane's one of the only people in my life that has said I love you first to me. And he's like, okay, I love you, sister. And I was like, smile. And then I was like, oh, he said it really quick. It's like early on in our friendship. And I was like, wow, then he means it. And I received that. And I was like, he means that. And he's told you as he leaves your presence, love you, and he means it. And he loves deeply. And so I want to hear from both of them. They have different types of personalities. Clearly, Dave and Christine are very different. they are very different. But today we're going to get to hear about love and the different kinds of love and what that looks like. And so, Christine, I wanted to ask you, if you'll tell us a little bit of how long you've been at Fourth Avenue and why you stayed. Because
because there's been a lot of things changed that maybe aren't your favorite, but you're still here. Yeah.
Well, I've just loved Fourth Avenue since I arrived in Franklin. That was 1949. My husband and I came to Franklin, had a little,
Christine, you hold the mic just a little bit closer.
okay, men's store, men's retail, clothing store. And we were just across the street. The alley separated us from the church. And I could come over to Bible class if we were not busy. I'd just slip out the back door and come to the Bible class. And I just met so many wonderful, loving people, and they just seemed to accept me and love me and just mentored me. I'm sorry I got this throat problem. I never like to speak because it always bothers me. But anyway, we've had ups and downs, and I've just always gone to church. My parents were Church of Christ, and they just believed in going to church every Sunday. So on Saturday, we started preparing to get ready to go to church on Sunday. I lived in the country, and so we would just polish our shoes and make sure we had a clean dress and wash our hair and, put our best foot forward to go to church. And so I was baptized, I guess, when I was about 13. I was getting ready to enter high school. And that was a great experience. My brother was 5 years older than I. And when he was baptized in a creek. And so, but I was a little younger, and we made a little progress. And so they carried us. There were several. We had meetings in those days that a visiting preacher would come and hold a meeting, we called it. And but anyway, we went to the city, and they had a baptistry. So I was baptized and didn't have to go to the creek, and I was glad of that. But anyway, it's been a nice journey. I've loved everybody I've met and just never wanted to leave here. And, we've had problems, and I grew up knowing that we would have problems. People are just different and have different ideas. And but I just felt at home here, and I just didn't want to leave. So I'm glad I didn't. I think we show so much more love now than we did a few years ago. So, and I think we're blessed. I just wish I could have had a teacher like you have, and I'm sure I would have been a better person. But I think you're just very fortunate. And I just love coming to church, and I loved our speaker today. And I did not know that he was a member here, but his father-in-law I have known since he was a child, and he came and sat by me a few minutes today and told me that his son-in-law was going to speak, and I just hadn't had a chance to meet him. And I do want to meet him. I say the people that sit on the north side, I don't get to know them, but I'm going to do better. I'm going to just go over there and say, I want to meet you.
I love that. I love that you
So
just mentioned
I'm
that.
taking up too much time.
No, Christine, that's great. I love that you mentioned, you don't know him and you want to go over and meet him. That is love of this church, and that's why this place is a living place. Is when one of you go out of your way, how many people have walked in this room and someone comes up and initiates conversation with you? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you in this space. Okay, that is a way that we are loving the bride of Christ. And it's easy for us, I think, to do that in this room, but then it gets more challenging when you might see Miss Christine or Miss Novella in section, more north than our section, if you will. to go and introduce and say hello, but that's that love that Christine's talking about, and the love of the bride of Christ. Like, if the church is the bride of Christ, which is like such a crazy analogy. Like, if you looked at me and you did not, like, you were not on board with Brian, and you didn't like Brian, and you didn't love Brian, like, we would not get along super well, right? Like, I'm his bride, like, we're a team. So there's a level here of, like, Jesus in the church, like, this bride of Christ thing, we've got to love the bride of Christ. There's a level of commitment there and love. And what I really love about what Christine's story has to say, I hope that it's okay that I'm sharing this, Fourth Avenue has made some decisions that would make you a little uncomfortable.
Yes.
And we do some things in worship that aren't your number one preference.
Yeah.
But you're still here. Can you tell us a
Well,
little bit about that?
Well, it never occurred to me to leave when others were leaving. I guess I'd always been so close, and I live close, and at my age, I don't need to be leaving. I need to prepare to go somewhere else. And I just wanted to stay here where there were a few. Most of the people my age, though, I think they left. But it just never occurred to me. I just knew I was going to stay right here.
Yeah. So what she's referring to, you guys, when Fourth Avenue made some decisions about style of our worship service, draw whatever conclusions you want to draw. A lot of people Christine's age left this church. And there's a commitment of love in terms of recognizing, and like I want y'all to hear too, regardless of where you are in life, like in wherever God leads you, there's going to be things at any church service that are not necessarily your favorite, right? Like the preacher might not be your favorite preacher, the worship might not be your favorite worship, they might not sing your favorite songs. But to be able to love the people around you and worship with them, that's such a beautiful thing. Stephanie, do you have a question?
I was going to just comment on what she's saying. She was selfless. She stayed because it wasn't all about her. She stayed because she loved everyone else. That's why she stayed. I mean, all her friends are gone, but she continued to love other people. It wasn't about her. And you're going to be in situations, you might be in that situation now, that you're not really receiving what you like, but you got to turn it off of yourself and give love to other people. And that's what she's done her entire life.
Yes.
Well, I just knew things would be okay. We just stay the course.
Christine, thank you so much. Dane, I want to ask you, why are you quick to say, I love you? Why is that something that you are quick to share with other people?
That's a good question. And it's I think it's my favorite thing to talk about. Because I think it's the most important thing that I have in my life, and I think it's, there is not enough. You can't finish reading about the tongue in the Bible. If you look hard, there is so much about our words and how important that is. 3 of the 7 things that it said God detests 6 things, 7 things he hates. 3 of those 7 things are about your words and about what you say. And so to have an interaction with someone and to be encouraging and to be uplifting and to say, I love you, it's not like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes that could come across as like, maybe that's scary, and I get that, like, committing yourself to someone and like being kind to someone and being loving to someone can be really scary. You're making yourself vulnerable and you're putting yourself out there. But I don't think there's anything else that's more worth it than to say to someone, I love you and I'm with you. That's the best way that I can show Jesus to someone I don't know. And so even if it's a worker at like Chick-fil-A and they are like a robot and they're like, my pleasure. And you're like, what? Just to be like, how's your day going? Like, what's your name? Like, how's life? What's up? It's nice to meet you, To me, if I every day am trying to be more present and more like my Father and more like Jesus, then I think there's no other more natural reaction than to just be kind and to be loving and to be friendly and open, and to say I love you, even though that can be scary. Just why not be reckless with your love? It's really, I'm sorry, but why not? Like, really, why not? What? I really do understand that it's scary because I wasn't always like that. I get that can be kind of daunting and kind of scary, but I think the pros so outweigh the con in that. Just to be, I don't know. I was talking to someone about Bob Goff the other day for some reason, and if you don't know who Bob Goff is, he wrote Love Does and a bunch of other stuff. But he does crazy stuff. You should read Love Does if you get a chance. But he like cuts out his left pocket of his pants because he only wants to be able to hold enough stuff in his right pocket. I think that's kind of dumb, but not the point. He's really awesome. He like the whole book is about just being, excuse me, is about how radical love should be and can be. He like sent pizzas to these people like for 2 weeks straight every day because he just like, love you. Like, why not? I don't know. Yeah.
So I would ask you, it's funny, my other question that I had written down for you was, why is it important to show love to a stranger, a waiter, or someone on a sidewalk? So you can have a display, but I would ask you that question, kind of like, if I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, I have this lesson about love, Dane talked about like loving the waiter, waitress, Chick-fil-A, but that makes me nervous. What would you say to encourage someone like, you don't just have to be like intern, outspoken, whatever person to do that? Like, what about someone that maybe would think like, a conversation like that would be with someone that's in dating, what would you encourage them to know?
Yeah, I think that's really important. Because I don't think it looks the same for everyone at all. And I think something that I've been learning recently, especially, is that because of like your experiences and the things that you have done and the things that you are now able to, and God will use you to serve people that is specific to. Does that make sense? That's kind of confusing. But to say that like we have both experienced the same thing. So like I was like this growing up, and I felt left out in like late middle school and like early high school. And now to someone that also feels that same way, you can step into that. And even if you feel like you're shy or that you're not outgoing, and that would be hard, because it is hard. It is really hard, and I understand that, and I know that. But it doesn't take, I don't know, it doesn't take the moon and the stars to make someone feel loved. You know, like if you can smile at someone in the hallway who looks like they're kind of alone, that I've like, coming from a person that knows that means a big deal. And I know you know that too. Like, you know that makes you feel welcomed and loved.
Yeah, I want to speak to all of it too. Like, is Rose still here? Okay, well, that's probably better anyway. So, Rose is one of the more quiet people, maybe, in the youth group. And Rose, last year at Winter Adventure, we were hiking, and Rose came up and walked next to me and was like, Lauren, tell me why you like to be outdoors. Like, why do you like to be outside? And it was just like, she loved me in that moment in such a beautiful way. So like, and if any of you have encountered Rose in a one-on-one, like the way that she communicates with people is beautiful. But she's not going to be one to stand up and talk about love in front of the whole class, but to enter into a conversation of just like, share with me more about your heart in that way. That is a way that she loves people very well. And so this isn't a personality thing. Love is a people thing.
And I think it holds so many different aspects and so many different sides. And like Nathan has a specific way that he loves really well, and like Slayer has another really specific way that he loves really well, and Emily has one. You know, like it's not, and that's what's so beautiful about it. And I don't remember where it is, but I mean, like we are all parts of one body, and the parts have many different uses.
First Corinthians 12, we studied that on Wednesday night.
Really?
We studied the parts of the body on Wednesday. Do y'all remember that lesson? Maybe we should teach it. We talked about it last Wednesday night.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I think something that I struggled with growing up is that I was friends with the two most popular guys in my school, but I was like the third guy that no one liked or wanted to hang out with or like talk to. It was these two guys, and then it was always me, and I was like, no one cares about me. But like, because I know that, like, I can empathize with people that feel that way, you know? And like, it's not, I don't know. It's just, I wish someone had told me that I get you, like I understand that, like I'm with you, like that's okay. But like I get to do that now, and that's so cool. Like, oh, that's awesome. Just to like be Jesus to someone in that way is so like you were saying. Like there's the 9 fruits of the Spirit. Like when we get to walk in those things, which is crazy to think about. Like you were saying, that's insane. But to get to just like be those things is such a gift that we have, and it's so fun. I actually had the verse marked that it's Matthew 12. I don't know the verse. I brought my Reader's Bible, which was a mistake. It doesn't have verses. But either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For the tree is known by its fruit. You brood of vipers, Jesus talking to the Pharisees. How can you speak good when you are evil? For out of abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. The good person out of his good treasure brings forth good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure brings forth evil. I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. I don't know if we take that seriously. I don't know if I take that seriously. On the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak. Whoa. Like, even last night, I went to cook out with some friends. And like, I can't stand up here and be like, well, I'm perfect, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, I think everyone on this planet, like, needs to be sure that they're using their words to honor the Lord. Like, there are careless words all the time. But, like, we have the ability and the conscious decision to, like, always be uplifting and caring. And when you see someone, know that your words are so powerful. Like, the things you can say to someone to lift them up, even if you don't know it, and that's big. You may never know. You may never see the fruit of you sowing those seeds and like giving people those words and being kind to someone. But it's so important. And it's so good. And it's so, I want that for you guys, because that is the kingdom on earth. And that is how we can be Jesus to other people, even when you don't. Because for me, I'm always like, well, what am I going to do? Got to be big. Let's do it. Like something crazy. Like my friends just are reading the Bible in 30 days this month. I got 3 days in and I was like, I'm sorry, like I can't do it. But like I can still love people with my words, and it doesn't have to be like some huge thing. We're young. I'm young. You're young. We're all young, and it feels like sometimes you're like, I don't have any money. I can't even drive. I don't know what to do. But like you can still tell someone that you love them and that Jesus loves them, and then like ask them about their day and how they're doing, and to make someone feel known like that is to be Jesus to someone.
I want to ask you one last question for your time, but Christine, they could also share with us a way that you can encourage them to love other people, which you kind of just spoke about. And then Christine, in encouraging a group of young people, what would you say in terms of love?
Well, just get to know them and be kind and patient. And, well, I'm just short on speech today.
No, I appreciate, it's cool that you mentioned two of the others. I think like love, I don't think it's any coincidence that love is the first spirit that's mentioned, this first fruit of the spirit that's mentioned. It does kind of encompass some other ones like kind and patient. When you're being kind or when you're being patient, you're showing love. It's encompassing these other things, which is really beautiful.
And understanding, you just have to get to know people better so you can understand and communicate, and you just have to have a friendly spirit, I guess, to get to know people and do things together, and it's a wonderful experience to love. And I can see more love here in the church now than years ago. In fact, I think we were sort of known as a cold spirit. But I think we just have so much warmth now. And we've got good leaders, and it's just getting to know people and be outgoing yourself to make, and I've never been that good at it, but I do try to be friendly and meet people. I'm going to do better.
We're going to do better with you. I think we can all, all of the
Amen.
Any final words?
I think that's awesome, Miss Christine. I think especially like intergenerationally, that is something that if that could be really cool. That's something I don't often very see. Even like I grew up going to Hillsboro, which is straight down the road, 20 minutes ish, and those relationships now are some of the most precious things that I have. Even though, and not in the same manner at all, Miss Christine, but I didn't growing up. It wasn't like my favorite. The worship wasn't my favorite, but it's really the more that I understand church, it's just not what it's about. And especially as I'm getting older and as you guys are going to get older, it's going to be really tempting to be like, well, the worship over here is really great, but I really like this guy, so I'll go ethos on Sunday, hear it Tuesday, but I think that's just, the older I get, the more I realize that I wish I would have, it's just about the people. And the worship and the preacher and whatever's happening there is awesome if that's great, but I mean, Miss Christine is the most beautiful testament to that. And it's so applicable to us, which is insane. Like, it is so much about the people around you, and it's about giving back. It's not about well, I'm not getting anything, so I'm going to go. And I'm so guilty of that. But it's about investing and giving. And I think, just to echo Miss Christine, oh, this is so cliche. Fine. So, to love another person is to see the face of God. That's in Les Mis. It's a musical. What's up, Emily? But I think you guys are really good at that. I know a lot of you, most of you, and I see that in you guys. And I love you a lot. I do. But, yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you guys. Let's thank Christine and Dane for coming. So you have an opportunity to love. I know that lately I've been counting on coming to Awana more often, but I'm going to keep doing it. And I have a story to tell you about that. It involves Duryea. Cool thing. Roan Dixon. Does anyone know Roan Dixon? Devin Dixon's youngest son. Okay. I'm going to tell you all a story. Roan Dixon's buddy at church was Cam Parker. Cam Parker sought Roan out every single Sunday morning when he was here, and Cam Parker would say, "Hey, Roan," and Roan would say, "Hey, Cam," and then they'd high-five each other. This is a thing that they would do. It was really cute. When Cam Parker left 4th Avenue, Roan has been very sad on Sunday mornings, and coming to church has been really hard for him and sad until last Wednesday night when Sam Duryea became his buddy, and his mom came to me the next day and said, "Who was Roan's buddy?" Because he's happy to be at church again, and he was so excited because he has a buddy. What the heck? That's amazing. I have spirit bumps all over me. That is showing love in a really beautiful way. Sam picked a person, loved on him, hung out. There was a piggyback ride at some point. Someone was climbing all over Sadie. Guys, there was a slew of really cool. Last time at Awana was really cool to see the way that you guys loved on these students. The challenge of meeting one kid and learning their name was a game changer. Abby, who was your? Amanda. Hilarious. Amanda's the craziest wild student at Awana, and her and Abby became friends, which, if y'all know Abby, that's a funny combo. So that's really cute and beautiful. If you come to Awana this Wednesday night, you have an opportunity to do what we've been taught this morning. Come and do that. Come be Roan's buddy again. Come be, yes, Brian? Oh, with Awana? Yeah, come to Awana Wednesday night. Oh, that would be really exciting. We should all go out and do that. If you're signed up for ski trip, I'm going to send out a special email. Go in the name of Jesus and love people this week. Go do that. Go, everyone. Also, if you want Galatians 5 or 1 Corinthians 13, they're printed off up here. Yeah.